All right, what's good, y'all? So this is our weekly Kinstretch today. So we're doing some running mechanics this week. So today we're going to focus on some prerequisites of the hips and knees. That will be very important for running. So we're going to do some hip extension and internal rotation. Kind of walked through it a little earlier this week. Then we're going to do a little knee flexion, which we haven't done. So we're going to try to, keep our pails and rails not quite max effort today, more for like an active recovery. But yeah, what you'll need, you'll see I have a little equipment today. I would say everything is optional. But I have a dumbbell and a block. And we're just going to be in that half kneeling position. So if you have like access to a wall, you can go up against that too. I have a heavy strap. You can use a heavy band, something like that. We'll need that for our knee flexion. And then have a couple PVC pipes. Again, you don't technically need them, but if you have something to just hold on to when we're in a half kneeling position, that will be really good. All right, so I'm just going to keep this here because I'll scooch it back once we start doing our isometrics, but we're going to start with some spinal segmentation. So we go on all fours, we get our warm-up cars in. So slowly start to go from the lumbar. You'll see I'm in a little different spot today from what we usually have. So this is actually the spot that I'm about to take over up here. So you'll see it first of the year. It's going to look quite a bit different, which is dope. Be hosting Kinstretch and training all my clients up here and things like that. Good. Let's go one more here. So again, we're just experimenting. I'm trying this phone again today. I'm a little further back just because I think it sounded a little better, but y'all can let me know after. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go hips, knees, ankles, all on each side. All right, so side lying position here. Bottom hand pulling, top hand punching. We're gonna go through 3 hip cars. So let's slowly start to come up, back, rotate. Good, straight back up. Slowly come all the way back through. Again, if these are your first cars of the day, just take your time here. We're not trying to reach for our max range of motion quite yet. So we're going to end with some quad hip cars today, which we haven't done before. At least not yet. Since we've been on this school. Once more here. I would say even if you're not a runner, this would be a good one today. If you're sitting or, you have some tight feeling knees after walking or just in general, because we are like that straight leg hip flexion is, or excuse me, hip extension is super important. Okay, so we got those 3 cars. We're gonna go 2 knee cars each way. So rotate up, boom. Once more. Boom. Then we'll take it right back, up, out. Go. 2 ankles. Spread those toes, down, once more, and up, out, down. Then we'll take it back the other way. Spread. Once more. And perfect. Okay. I'm just gonna check this real quick before we switch. Okay. Dope, dope. Let's get next side in. So again, bottom hand pulling, top hand punching. 3 hip cars, nice and smooth. Up, back, rotate, and then straight back, up, all the way back through. 2 more. Breathing through those sticky spots. I'll see my left one's, I feel a little bit more restricted in my right, especially in internal rotation. Once more here, even though it's gotten a bit better. Rotate. And then straight back up. All the way back through. Perfect. Okay. Knees and ankles. So right here, grab that hamstring. Good. And then bring it right back up, out, down, in, up, out, down. It's getting a little chilly up here in KC, so a little bit sniffly today, but other than that, I feel pretty good. 2 ankle cars, down, out, up. Good, once more. And perfect. Okay, warm-up cars done. So we're gonna start on, we're gonna do all of our hip extension and rotation first. Then we'll switch to our knee flexion, and then we'll end with cars. Okay, so I'm gonna do this facing forward so you guys can see it. Actually, might be better to do it a long way like this. Okay, so pretend like if you're on a wall or something. Okay, the block is right here on the wall. This is when you'll need the PVC pipes. 1 or 2 is just fine. Okay. All right. So, see, I got my bottom leg on touching the block. I'm nice and upright. Okay. If you just have 1, you just hold it like this. But if you have 2, it's nice and upright. So very important here to keep the pelvis tucked. Okay, so you don't want to be an extension. You want to be nice and tight in your lumbar. Okay, so you should feel a nice little stretch here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull ourselves. So this is hip extension, and then we're going to pull ourselves into internal rotation by rotating or walking the hands out, keeping that quad facing forward. And now you should feel a nice stretch right here in that glute hip area. Okay? So we're going to do 1 light set of pails and rails, 2 harder. Then we're going to do some eccentrics, passive range liftoffs. All right? So pails, you're going to be rotating into the block. Rails, the knees heavy, and you're trying to rotate the quad towards your midline, thinking light on the foot, but don't flex it. Okay? So let's start with this first pails. Big breath in. Brace the core. Drive the knee slightly. And then you're going to just 20% rotate into the block. Okay, so really important again, keep that pelvis tucked so you're not bleeding into your low back. Should be nice and contracted in that groin glute area. Feel a little intense here. Got 10 seconds. We're just driving nice and light, rotating into the block. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, now baby rails. 3, 2, 1. Now again, the knees heavy, and you're thinking you're slightly just trying to rotate that quad towards your midline, making light on the foot in the block. So it should feel nice and crampy now on the outside here. Just give me 10 seconds, nice and light on this first one. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, now after every set, if you can pull yourself a little deeper into your in range, do it by rotating more. But if you feel okay right there, that's just fine. I'm just gonna flip this here just so I have a little bit more cushion for my knee. I'm gonna be here for a little bit, so if you do need like a pillow or something of the sort, feel free. Okay, that feels good. All right, this one we're gonna ramp to about 50 or so percent max effort. Okay, hold this about 15 seconds. So tuck the pelvis, inhale, knee starts to drive into the ground. We're rotating into the block, 20% max effort. And the hands are also pushing. Let's go 40. We're gonna try to push a little bit harder, 50, whatever feels good, and hold. So it should be a bit more intense than your first set. You're nice and active, rotating into that block. You're not really trying to push the foot into it. You're trying to rotate the whole quad. So if you do have a block or something, you're sliding it away for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Now try to rotate the quad in towards the midline. You're trying to rotate the foot away from the block. Breathe and keep that tension nice and light. 10 seconds. Keep rotating. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Couple recovery breaths here. Again, if you can, rotate a little bit more into your max safest range of motion. And now we're gonna ramp to about 75, 80%. Again, 15 seconds on this one. So not quite max effort today. Okay, so here we go. Big breath. Brace the core, tuck the pelvis. Let's start to rotate that knee, ankle into the block, 20% max effort. 40. Whole body's pushing now. 60. Harder. 80. Hold. You got 15 seconds again. If you have to let up, that's just fine, but keep the tension best you can for 10 seconds. Keep rotating. The whole body's nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, rails. 3, 2, 1. Now knees heavy. Thinking like you're almost slightly sliding the leg back, rotating the quad in towards your midline. Feeling that nice contraction on the outside of the glute. Nothing bleeding to the low back. Keep the tension best you can. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Ooh, it's nasty. Okay, so we got one set of 5 eccentrics here. So you're gonna start here, forward. We're gonna ramp to about 50% max effort pale. So I'm rotating right now in to the block. You're gonna keep the tension, and then you're gonna slowly pull yourself into your max in range by rotating the upper body. Relax. Okay, 4 more like that. Oh, we actually did that backwards, my bad. So we're actually gonna start here. Okay, we'll do 4 more like this. Actually, we'll just do 5, I'm lying. Okay, so starting your in range, ramp to your max safest, rails contraction. Okay, hold the tension, and then slowly pull yourself out of your in range. Oh, yeah, it's a little different while you're driving. Relax. Yeah, my bad. 4 more like that. Okay, ramp tension. 50% max effort pails. Hold that. Slowly rotate yourself back forward. Ooh, relax. 3 more. 50% rail or pails, rotating into the block. Hold the tension. Slowly pull yourself back forward, keeping the tension. 2 more. Rotate, 50% pails into the block. Keep the tension. Slowly pull yourself back forward. You should feel that tissue through the hip changing as you pull yourself out of your in range. One more here. Okay, nice and tight. Rotate, pails, 50% max effort. Hold the tension. Slowly pull yourself back out. Okay. Passive range liftoffs is our last thing. Then we'll switch sides. Okay, so you probably want to bring the foot up a little bit so that it will actually come off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to initiate our rails contraction. Okay, so we just got 3 of these. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. So the knee's driving. You're going rails right now. So you're trying to rotate the foot off. Keep that. Then again, slowly pull yourself out the in range until the foot barely comes off. You probably can't really see it from this angle. But now my ankle's hovering off of it. We're holding that. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly control yourself back. 2 more like that. So best your ability, nice and upright. Initiate rails, so try to rotate the quad towards the midline. Think light on the foot. Hold that tension. Slowly again, pull yourself out of your in range until the foot barely comes off. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly shift yourself back to your in range. One more here. Okay. Rails. I'm trying to rotate the quad towards the midline, light on the foot, hold the tension, slowly pull yourself towards the front until the foot barely comes off and hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly shift yourself back. Okay, one side done, hip extension. Ooh. We're gonna switch that thing up. Okay, so take your time. Ooh, sticky. I'm just gonna shift this back just a little bit. I already know I need to fold this for my knee. Okay, so if you're on wall, you're just gonna flip to the other side here. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oops. All right, so you're gonna see one side. It's gonna feel different than the other. Okay, so take your time, get nice and set up. Remember to find your stretch. You want to tuck the pelvis. So think posterior tilt, not here. Boom. You're going to hold that. Whoops, it's a little slick up here. You're going to hold that, and you're going to slowly walk yourself out while the hip stays forward. And so you feel a nice stretch right here. Okay, so we're going to start with this light pails and rails on this side. So give me a big breath in. Brace the core. 20% max effort, the knees heavy, and you're rotating the foot into the block. So just nice and light, getting that tissue warmed up. So I mentioned earlier, this is my weaker side, so my intensity is probably not going to be as hard on this side for me to feel it. It feels pretty intense already. Which means you got a good contraction here, so just breathe and hold that for 10 more seconds. Keep rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, baby rails. 3, 2, 1. Now knee heavy. Try to rotate that quad in towards the midline. You're also thinking like you're sliding the leg slightly back. That can help get that, force that extension. Now I'm thinking light on the foot. Again, just enough to feel that tension right on the outside of that glute right here. Just breathe, hold that. This could feel like 1% of your max effort compared to pails. And we got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, you feel okay? Stay right there. You want to pull yourself a little bit more into your in range. Walk your hands out a little bit more. Okay, 50% max effort here. So big breath in. Trap the air in the belly. Knee heavy. Start to rotate the whole leg towards the block. 20% max effort. Double it up. 40. A little bit harder here. 50 and hold. So again, got 15 or so seconds here. Keeping that tension through the whole body. Feel that hip nice and contracted for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Ooh. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Nothing like you're sliding the leg back, slightly rotating the foot off of the block, but without flexing it. It's like you're again trying to rotate the quad in towards the midline. Still keep the core tight so nothing's bleeding to that low back. Keep that tension best you can. You got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, a couple recovery breaths. Pull yourself deep as you can on this last one. We're going to shoot about 75, 80%. Also, 15 seconds. Okay, so here we go. Last isometric. Let's inhale. Tuck the pelvis, brace the core, and we'll slowly start to drive the knee down, rotate into that block, 20% max effort. 40. Whole body's pushing harder, 60. Harder, 80. Hold. Whole body's nice and tight. Get as much as you can. 10 seconds. Keep rotating. Keep rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Try to slide that leg back. Rotate the quad in and hold. Again, the core super tight. Keep that tension best you can. 10 seconds. Light on the foot from the block for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, so we'll start our eccentrics correctly this time. Okay, so I'm in my in range, pelvis tucked, ramping 50% pale. So let's do that. Drive the knee, rotate into the block, 50% max pales, hold that tension, and then slowly rotate your upper body back forward while holding onto that pales contraction. Whoo, into that leg. Relax. 4 more like that. Initiate that pales, 50% max effort. Hold the tension, and then slowly rotate the upper body back forward, driving that ankle into the block the whole time. Ooh. Relax. 3 more. Good tension. Rotate 50% max pales. Hold that. And we're slowly rotating the upper body away from the back foot now. Back forward so you feel that tissue changing as you're coming out of your in range. 2 more. Rails, rotate, hold the tension, keep that, and let's slowly pull your upper body back forward. Take your time, no rush here. Relax. Last one. Nice and tight. Rotate into that block, hold the tension, and let's slowly pull ourselves, pull back out of our in range. Relax. Okay, last thing here, passive range liftoffs. Okay, so this is when we're gonna lift that leg up a tiny bit if it's on the ground. Now the foot should come off. So we're gonna initiate a light rails contraction. So knee heavy, try to rotate the foot off of the block. And then again, you're slowly pulling yourself out the in range until the foot barely comes off and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Shift yourself back to your in range. 2 more like that. Knee heavy, sliding the leg back, try to rotate that foot off the block, hold the tension, slowly pull yourself out the in range until the foot barely comes off the block now and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Control yourself back. Last one here. Knee heavy. Try to slide the leg back, rotate that foot off of the block, hold the tension. As you come out your in range, pull yourself back forward till the foot barely comes off and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Ooh, okay. Rotation and hip extension done. I'm gonna move this stuff out the way. We are going to do some knee flexion and then some cars. Okay? So I would suggest a long band for this. Okay? This is just like a yoga strap. Okay? And if you have, like I said, a heavy band will work too. But what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around the front of this ankle. Okay? Just like this. And we're going to be flat on the stomach. You want this hand to be straight, especially for when we do eccentrics, okay? So you're just gonna pull your foot up and relax it as close as you can to your butt, okay? So pails here are gonna be driving back into the band, but you're not gonna let yourself. Rails, trying to pull the foot off of the band. Okay, so we're just gonna go 2 sets here, 1 set of eccentrics, some hip extension liftoffs, and then we'll switch to the other side. Okay, so big breath in. First one, 50%. Second one, about 75%. Big breath in, trap the air in the belly, and now you're going to start to kick the foot away from your butt at 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. A little bit harder, 50, and hold. So you want to make sure the core is tight. Feel a nice contraction, like in that groin, or not your quad, hip flexor, the front. Breathe. We got 10 seconds here, 50% max effort. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. So make sure the core's tight so nothing's bleeding to your back here. Rails, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm trying to flex my foot as close to my butt as I can so you really feel the hamstrings here. Try not to cramp. It's very easy to cramp in this position. You're squeezing best you can for 10 seconds. Keep trying to get that heel closer to the butt. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Let's see if you can pull that a little closer to the butt. Okay, if not, it's just fine. We're gonna go one more. Again, about 75% of our max effort. I'm just gonna hold this one for 10 seconds. Okay, so inhale, brace the core, and let's start to kick the foot away from the butt. 20% max effort. 40, the hands are matching. 60, bit harder. 70, a little harder. Hold. You got good tension through that band. 10 seconds. Everything's tight, nothing loose. Keep driving for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Now try to get that heel closer to the butt without cramping through the hamstring and hold. Should be working right before that cramp. Should be pretty intense right now. Keep driving. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Whew. Okay, one set of 5 eccentrics. So I'm gonna pull this up as much as you can. Ideally, wherever it's at, your arm is as straight as it can go, facing forward, just to give yourself a little leeway. So you're gonna try to keep the same tension the whole time. So you're gonna be fighting this back. See this hand's going at the same amount. You're keeping the same tension, about maybe 30, 40% max effort until your elbow won't bend anymore, and then you'll reset. Okay, so let's go 5 here. So good tension. Start to drive the foot back. You're letting the hand win, you're letting the foot win just slightly, but keeping that good tension, same tension through the whole range of motion until that arm won't bend anymore. So you don't got to touch the ground with the foot. Relax all the way back up. 4 more. Good tension. Keep that. Control all the way back. Relax. Last 3. Reset if you need to. Good tension, control. Good. 2. It's okay if this shoulder starts to burn. This is a full body. Control. If you have to do less than 5 reps, that's just fine as well. Last 1. Good tension. Keep it. Fight that thing back. Control, control. All the way back to your end range. Nice. So I'm going to switch this now, but we're still going to be working on the opposite leg. Okay, let's just so it's there. Okay, so we got 3 liftoffs, 10-second hold. So now with these, you don't want to like extend your lower back. You're thinking bracing the core, length and up. So you should just feel the glute here as we do these hip extension liftoffs. Okay? So good tension through the whole body before we lift. Pretend like you're squeezing a ball in the back of your quad or the back of your hamstring. Drive the knee back. Lift up as much as you can. You're nice and active for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Bonus, try to keep your foot into a little internal rotation as you do these liftoffs. So it'll make it a little bit harder. Okay? 2 more. Squeeze. Length through the knee. Lift and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. Whew. Last one. Brace up. Squeeze. Length and lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Nice. Okay, so we'll switch right to the other leg now. Knee flexion. Okay. So that band is here. Okay. So you might have a little more range of motion on one side than the others, just fine. So pull that thing up as best you can. Okay. Light pails and rounds, 50%, then one more a bit harder. So big breath in, brace the core, and let's slowly start to kick that foot away from the butt. 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40, a little bit harder, 50, and hold. So again, core is tight here. So just be feeling like glute, hip flexor, quad, somewhere in there. Keep driving. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Rails, 3, 2, 1. Now you're trying to get the heel closer to the butt. Hold. Do your best not to cramp here, so you should really feel a lot of hamstring. Again, a little bit of glute as well. Working right before you feel like you're going to cramp. 10 seconds. Keep that tension. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Of recovery breath. See if you can keep it at that new range of motion. The foot. We got one more here. 75%. So next breath, let's inhale. Brace the core. And we'll start to kick that heel foot away from the butt. 20%. 40. 60. Bit harder. 70. Hold. So again, 15 seconds here. Keep that tension. Last 10. Keep driving. Keep the core tight. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Rails. 3, 2, 1. Now you're trying to get that heel closer to the butt. Hold. Ooh, try not to cramp. 10 seconds. Keep that tension. Keep trying to pull it closer to the butt, the heel for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, eccentrics. So extend that arm. Okay, that's a good spot. Extend that arm. You're going to keep that tension best you can. Okay, so we're going to slowly keep that tension, letting the foot win about 40 or so percent of your max effort, driving all the way back until this elbow won't bend anymore. Relax, reset. 4 more, tension, start that, control, core tight, so it's all like quad, glute, hamstring here. 3 more. Good tension. Control, control. Again, that shoulder's probably going to start burning here. Whew. 2 more. Good tension. Control, control. Oh. Last one. Good tension. Ooh. Relax. Okay. 3 liftoffs and then 3 cars on each side. Home stretch. Okay. So you're nice and tight. Everything else is driving down, minus the leg you're trying to lift. So ramp tension, squeeze the ball, brace the core. Remember, we're thinking length and up, and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. We're nothing in the low back, all glute. Brace. Everything's ramp. Lengthen up through the glute. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. Last one here. Again, bonus. Try to keep it in a little internal rotation if you can. Last one. Brace. Length. Lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. Okay, so now we just have 3 quad hip cars on each side. Okay, so this is just a bonus. If you have your block, put it on your low back to make sure you're not compensating at all. So these cars are going to feel, these cars are going to feel a bit smaller but more strict. Okay, so just think like you're squeezing that ball the whole time. Okay, so we're going up, out, rotate, and then straight back, out. Control. 2 more like that. Take your time. So again, these might feel small, but that's just fine. This is a very hard position to do cars in. A lot of core. Squeeze. You can really feel the feedback from the block if you feel yourself cheating. Once more. Good. Relax. Flip this way. Just thing stays nice and tight. Okay. Last 3. Nice and tight. One up, out, rotate, little extension, out, rotate. 2 more. So this is a good time to push it. Your max range of motion. And just make sure it's controlled. That's why the block can really help to make it as true as possible. It's not going to be perfect. Once more. Breathe. And nice. That's a wrap, y'all.